I can't tell you quite how stressed I am. I don't know why I'm nervous. I'm sweating. I've changed my shirt 3 times because I'm anxious to see everybody. I can't see you, but you can see me, and that stresses me out. So, hello, my name is Erika. I have not been on YouTube for almost a year and a half. I am back purely because I had this bizarre craving, mainly in that it's been 5 years since the series that I made called Cramps ended. For those of you who were not around for that time period, Cramps was a documentary series. The acronym is completely ripping off all monthly pretentious scrapbooks. The scrapbooks in question were a series of people's lives that were being made kind of around the 2016 period, monthly vlogs in long form, and I took it very, very seriously, and it, for all intents and purposes, changed my life. Within that year, in 2016, I finished high school when I was living in China. I moved to England. I made some of the best friends in my life, had some incredible experiences, all because of the series, might I add. And sort of towards the end of that year, I moved away from England and moved to Melbourne, and then I was kind of in the college admission process, and by the very end I had been accepted into the Australian Film, Television, Radio School and was about to move to Sydney. That is something that hit me over Christmas, as the nostalgic period usually does, and that kind of set me off. You know, I'd been making videos for about 3-4 years prior to Cramps, and I continued making them after Cramps, but it was never quite the same. I think for a little while there I was burnt out from making content every day to make these 20-25 tight minute episodes, which I still look back on with incredible fondness, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. I don't cringe at the old videos. There are some that are way back that are still public and out there because I'm not ashamed of them. I was like 14, 15 making these videos, as a lot of people in that era of YouTube were, but I still, hand to heart, go back and I watch these videos, particularly Cramps, because it was a diary for everyone to see, warts and all, but it was a portion of my life that I'm so fond of. I think over the last 2 years of very large chunks of lockdown, I've had a lot of time to reflect on the parts of myself that I miss, and a big chunk of that is who I was in these videos, in the Cramps episodes. And I'll unpack that, I think, potentially in a later video, but I didn't want to sit down and make anything because I didn't feel like I had anything to say anymore. Anything that hadn't been said already. When I was making Cramps, it was a bit of, want to gain a bit of a following. I had a beautiful little community of commenters who I still see to this day pop up in the comment section, who kind of felt like, very cliched, like family. And I felt like I had something to say. I felt like I had something new. I lived in a foreign country. A lot of the time I would talk about this niche that I'd built in China, the expat niche. My God, my name is redheadabroad still. It's that niche that I clung on to, and my friends will attest that for the first sort of couple of years of living in Sydney, I pretty much opened most conversations with, oh yeah, I used to live in China, and it got boring real quick. I think I had to grow out of that version of me, and I think with that came the fear that I'd lost the things that were interesting about me to talk about, and with that, the passion to sit down and talk dwindled. And then, very recently, I realized that it doesn't matter. That's kind of the crux of it. I'm not here to have hundreds of thousands of followers, not anymore at least. There was definitely a time when I was. I'm here because, if anything, I'd like to think that there might be something that resonates with someone out there, and that's nice. And if that's all it is, sure. And at the end of the day, all I want this to be is just a platform for me to talk. I go to therapy, but I miss sitting in front of the camera, and I think the minute that pressure gets taken off your shoulders, the self-inflicted pressure to say something of importance, of relevance, something meaningful, hard-hitting. Hell, I'm a filmmaker now, and that is always, you're trying to say something with what you're doing, and that's so important. But if you constantly strive for it, you're going to be grasping at something that's very contrived until it happens and comes out the way you want it to. Essentially, what I think I'm trying to say is I would like to revisit that beautiful, beautiful moment in time 5 years ago and take a look back at what was going on behind the scenes, because at the end of it all, I look back on particularly that series like I'm looking at someone else's Instagram feed, something that I know is deeply curated. Even the bits where I am having a breakdown, they have been put in there strategically to tell a story. And I think I got lost in missing who I was, that I was too scared to make anything as I am now. Because I think recapturing her, even in its minimal forms, I would like to acknowledge where we are now. So hopefully I'll be back. Hell, I had a full list of notes that I wrote down yesterday to talk about, and I've not looked at them once. So she's still in there. I will hopefully talk to you soon. Bye. And that picture is straight. I know on camera it does not look straight, but I just wanted to point that out.